morning, children. You all are taking good care of yourself and staying at home. You all have gone through the previous presentation. Now I am going to continue the presentation with the different components of food that I have given in the previous slide. The different components of food. First we'll start with carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are known as energy giving foods that gives us energy to work, study and play. The main sources of carbohydrates, as you see in the below picture, are rice, sugar, wheat, barley and maize. These are the sources of carbohydrates from which we get energy to do our physical work daily. Next is fats. Fats are also known as energy giving food, but as compared to the carbohydrates, they give more energy. But from fats also a very less amount of energy is utilized by our body, and rest all is stored in our different body parts. And if we are going to consume fat rich food on a daily basis, then the extra energy that is stored in our different body parts makes us obese, and that is a disease. The major sources of fat are vegetable oil, milk, butter, ghee, cheese, cream and dry fruits. Next is rich sources of important nutrients. This I have given you a chart. In this you can see various nutrients that is required by our body and their sources. Iron and calcium are minerals. Vitamins, we need vitamin A, B, C and D. Proteins are required by our body as it is known as bodybuilding food. Fats we have already discussed. This we will see in further slides. Now proteins. Proteins are known as bodybuilding food. Why they are known as bodybuilding food? Because they help us grow. That is required for muscles to grow, repairing for worn out tissues and for regular growth of our body. That's why we all say that the growing children need more protein as compared to the adults, because proteins are known as bodybuilding, and the kids they are growing, they need more and more protein. The regular sources of protein that we can include in our daily diet are milk and milk products like paneer, cheese, curd, buttermilk, and the others are pulses, soya bean, and for non-vegetarians, those who are non-veg, they can include egg and meat also in their diet as a source of protein. But for vegetarian, milk products and soya products are very good sources of protein. Now next is vitamins. Vitamins are known as protective food. Why protective food? Because it helps us keep our body fit and healthy. and also help our body fight against different diseases. That though that is required by our body in very less amount, but then also it is mandatory to have vitamins in our diet, because if we are not having vitamins in our diet, we may suffer from deficiency diseases that we'll study later on in this chapter. The common vitamins that is required by our body are vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C and vitamin D. And the sources of vitamins in our food can be whole grain, fruits, green leafy vegetables and milk. Milk and milk products are also good sources of vitamins. That's why it is said that you should have milk every day. Now here is a chart showing the sources of vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C and vitamin D. Now you can make out from the picture the sources of vitamin A are bell pepper, carrot, yogurt, cheese, pumpkin. Sources of vitamin B are bread, peas, maize, meat and walnut. What sources of vitamin C? Oranges and lemon, kiwi, green leafy vegetables and bell pepper. Sources of vitamin D are milk, egg, fish, meat and cheese. And one more thing, children, you must have known that your parents must be asking you to stay in sun. Why? Yes, sun rays are also a very good source of vitamin D. Through sun rays, our body can absorb vitamin D in our body. That's why it is advised to be in sun for some time every day. Next is minerals. Minerals like vitamins are also known as protective food. Why? Because it also helps to keep our body fit and healthy and protects us from different diseases. Minerals are also required by our body in very less quantity. But if we are not having minerals, then we may suffer from deficiency diseases. There is an ad in TV for Tata Salt which says मेरे नमक में iodine है. Iodine is a mineral that is required by our body. The other minerals that is required by our body are iron, calcium and phosphorus. These are important minerals required by our body, and the sources of these minerals are cereals, green leafy vegetables, milk, eggs, fruits. Iron is required for our body to maintain hemoglobin balance in our blood, and calcium is required to have strong bones and strong teeth. Now this is a picture showing different sources of minerals that are kidney bean, milk, whole grain, spinach, lettuce, curd, cheese and paneer, meat, dry fruits, whole grains, butter and broccoli. These are the sources of minerals required by that we can have in our daily diet. Roughage helps get rid of undigested food from our body. If we are not eating roughage in sufficient amount in our food, then we may have problem like constipation. Our bowel movement will not be regular. And now water. Water is a very important component of our body. As we know, 75% of our body is made up of water. Water is required by our body to remove extra undigested food from our body smoothly, and also helps to remove extra waste in the form of sweat and urine. Water plays a very important role in the regulation of body temperature also. You should have minimum 6 to 8 glasses of water every day. Now here is a pyramid shown. Can you all see? The pyramid shows what all you should have in a balanced diet, and that you should be including in all the meals you are having, like breakfast, lunch, dinner. These can be categorized into groups. The cereal group, that includes food like first column that is shown, rice, chapati, bread, that is known as cereal group, and that is a source of carbohydrates. And the second layer you all can see is fruits and vegetables. That is a group of fruits and vegetable group, that is a source of vitamins, minerals, roughage and carbohydrates also. The third layer you can see is milk group, that is milk product, and meat is included in that layer, that is a source of proteins, calcium and minerals. The last group is fat. Fat group is oil, butter, sugar and cheese, that you should have in very less quantity, because consuming more and more fat will make you obese. Now after going through these, I would like you to make your daily food chart. In that you should make 3 columns for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and you should write food items that you are having for breakfast, lunch and dinner, and you have to mention that if you are having milk for breakfast, what you are getting from milk. If you are having rice in lunch, dal and rice in lunch, what you are getting from dal. Say for dal you are getting protein, and rice you are getting carbohydrate. Same way, if you are having chapati for dinner, you have to write what you are getting from chapati. Carbohydrates, vegetables, roughage and minerals, that all you have to write. In that way you have to make a chart for your daily food. This is your homework, children. Next is, see, it is very important to have right amount of food, but eating the right amount of food is only beneficial if you are eating food that is cooked in a proper way. If your food is not cooked properly, if it is not washed properly, the food is not hygiene, then it is not that much beneficial. That is why it is required that you should see what you are eating and how you should eat. Like fruits, you should eat raw. Few vegetables that you can eat as salad, that also you have to wash properly and then eat raw. Vegetables that you are cooking, it should be seen that it should be cooked in a proper manner. Overcooking should not be done because it destroys all the nutrients of the food, and undercooking should also not be there because if the food is not cooked properly, your stomach may get upset. And you should not waste your food. You should cook how much it is required, and if it is not used, you should store it in refrigerator and have it for the next meal, because it is up to us to save the resources for the society. Next is food preservation. If the food that you have prepared is not used, you can preserve it in refrigerator. It will be safe to eat for few days. And if you want to preserve it for more time, you can put it in deep freezer. But that is not required for the daily food that you are preparing for yourself. That goes for stored food, packaged food. Again, that is not advisable to eat packaged food. You should eat fresh food every day. The other methods for food preservation are dehydration, canning, salting, sweetening, pickling, and adding preservatives. Like canning is the food that we purchase from market that are put in can with some added preservatives. That will not, they have an expiry date on it, that you have to consume it within 6 months or 1 year. Till that time the food will be fresh and that you can have consume it. Next way is pickling. Pickling, you all must have seen at your places, your mama must be putting pickles for mangoes, lemons, vegetables and other pickles also. In that they add lots and lots of oil and salt. That is also a way of preserving food. Then sugaring. Sugaring is adding sugar syrup to the thing. That is used for making gems and jellies. Drying. Drying is, nowadays you must be seeing that the fruits we are getting, many fruits we are getting dried, that like dried mango, dried ginger in the form of packets. If we take mango, it is not going to be fresh for whole year. The way we can keep mango for the whole year is we can dry the mango and use it afterwards. Now till here this is done, children. Now I have given you one homework to make a food chart, and I will be sharing few questions also for you to do related to this topic. Thank you, children. Thank you so much. Thank you.